Man, it is crazy to think that we are one episode away from 100 episodes of My Hero Academia, but yeah, an okay episode, episode 99 of My Hero Academia, or episode 11 of the 5th season of My Hero Academia. But let's jump into it. So yeah, this episode concludes the mock battles that we've been having between Class A and Class B. With this particular match, we have Deku, of course, being center stage, and Shinsho on the other side with Class B at the current time. We've just managed to basically take control of Deku's new powers. He's a little bit hesitant of it, and even though I did mention in my last impressions, I'm like, yeah, they're going to go through this whole thing where he's afraid of using his powers because it might go crazy again. Nope, didn't take him very long before he tries to use the powers again. But they did technically put a limit on it in the idea that, or at least what he believes, is that he will have to use his full power of the One for All to essentially control this new power that he's gained, which is a little interesting because it's been a long time since he's actually used his full powers. I think his last time that he used his full powers when he had, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. Essentially the healing lolly on his back, managing to keep his body together, but it will be interesting if we at some point are going to get him to be able to fully manage his ability because, like I said, I don't think he's necessarily gotten to that point, and I'm not sure exactly, I don't recall exactly how much he's capable of currently before he is, going his limit, so to speak, I guess, is a way to put it. So kind of interesting. Unless I'm misreading that, it's kind of interesting the idea that he is not able to get to his full power. He just got a new ability, but requires his full power. Unless I'm just missing something there in translation, it does seem like that implies that he's either going to leap in bounds to the point where he can fully use his power, or he's going to be completely limited to be able to use it. Now, technically, the reason why he doesn't use the full power currently, at least with All Might's ability, is that there's so much strength his body will be destroyed by it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he can't use full power when using this new ability, because it doesn't necessarily require muscle and stuff. It's more of a projection. So that technically could be the way around it, and that he just doesn't use All Might's ability, but just this new ability at full power. But we'll have to see in the future. It was interesting, though, at the very end. I don't know if this is in the preview or if it was just before the preview. Deku mentions the idea that his abilities are kind of similar to the All for One aspect, where All for One, essentially, he takes an ability for himself and he's able to give it to somebody else. So the idea is that he's taking abilities from people. And technically with this, new realization about the One for All, is that it's technically a bunch of abilities that were taken. But I guess my mindset goes to, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the same thing, because with the One for All, the aspect of that is that they give the ability to somebody else. They inherit it to somebody else. That person then now has it, and then once they pass it on to somebody else, their ability goes with it. So it's essentially, the difference there is that one is where somebody allowed it, where the other one is they might not have allowed it. Now, granted, the certain image that we got of All for One was where there was people that were like, I don't want this ability, please take it from me. But you do assume that he has taken some from people that did not want their ability taken, so to speak. So I guess it's just really it's a consent thing. So whereas All for One, he can take without consent, whereas the One for All, it is people who have chosen to take All for One, and then they give their ability to the next person by consent. So very interesting. I'm not sure if they'll get more into that. Obviously, they are going to in the next episode, obviously, because I think that, like I said, I think that is in the preview, but that will be interesting to get into that. Just as kind of this fear that is now being created around the ability. Obviously, Deku is unsure. He's now got this full realization. He wasn't able to control it. He's afraid of it going out of control again. And that all kind of stems around these new abilities within it that he's completely unaware. And obviously, All Might is completely unaware of it as well. I'm actually looking forward to that conversation. Deku and All Might obviously are going to talk about this. And I'm really curious as to what that conversation ends up being, because this is something that All Might was never aware of. And it seems like, seemingly so. And maybe he might tell him what his previous mentor was of the One for All. So Yeah, cool stuff though. But yeah, they had the fight. This episode. Yeah, Shinso and Deku fight it out. At some point, Nito is trying to obviously put doubt in Uraka, and she obviously kept with her goal of putting him in the cage. And then from there, he uses his abilities to attack Deku from the prison. Cheater. Always a cheater. But yeah, then Uraka races back to help them take down the last remaining members of Class B, and they win. It was, I guess it's okay. What was his name? Grape Juice or whatever. He actually manages to do some cool stuff using his little bubble things to bounce off to go at super speeds. But yeah, not really much of the battle besides then. I mean, unfortunately, it was a thing that I kind of assumed that similar to... No, not even with the Bakugo fight. With the Bakugo fight, you've seen everybody doing incredible stuff throughout the entire fight. With this one, it just kind of seemed like, Uraka, awesome. She definitely shined in this particular battle and this episode. She's fantastic. She essentially took down 2, maybe 3 of them by herself, with everybody else kind of jumping in after she took action. But a majority of it was technically Nito for the first part of it, and a little bit in the last part of it, and Shinso and Deku fighting it out. So it was kind of like a kind of battle. Just really, the battle was really just Deku discovering a new ability. So, but it's all right. Still a good episode, or still a good battle. And it is kind of funny because it is kind of in the realm of a little bit of disappointment with Shinso, because you kind of assume that he's going to do something incredible in order to gain the attention of the teachers. But I think it is in the aspect of what he did in the heat of the moment that still gains their attention. And I think it is, obviously, and this is something that I kind of assume would be the case, especially after the first battle, is that they're going to take note of his change in demeanor and how he sees things. He's no longer about myself. He is about other people, and he's willing to do things to help other people. He's working together with other people. He's using teamwork. And that is what gains the attention of Eraserhead, and ultimately is what causes him to pass in the end. And I did like get a little brief moment of him and Eraserhead. He's like, I don't put effort into anything that I don't, want to, or I don't see. I don't waste my effort, essentially. And so he obviously sees something in Shinso. He's willing to put some effort into helping him learn how to use this cloth and get better. He's like, people like you and me, if we don't learn to adapt, we die. And so he sees something in Shinso that he sees in himself. And so he's willing to put in that effort to help him get better and, become a hero, which is really awesome. Like I said, I think Shinso is a great example of a character writing that is not so much the underdog, but somebody who just took a slight wrong direction, and with a little bit of, recourse of action or a little bit of redirection, he's able to come back and possibly have a huge impact. Now, the unfortunate thing is that we haven't seen that impact yet. We just know it's coming, and I'm hoping this doesn't get wasted, but it is a character that can really do something really cool in the future. I don't know what that'll be, just because of how, again, like I mentioned before, his ability is very limited, but that's the whole point what Eraser is saying. He's very limited, and he has to learn how to think on his feet. He's going to have to think on his feet going forward. He's got to work with what he has, and he has the potential there. He's got to learn how to use it, so... Cool stuff, though. I like that Uraka got a little bit of teasing at the end. Man, you just jumped right in there really quickly, didn't you? She got a little blush going on. Eraserhead kind of acknowledges the fact that Uraka has definitely matured. It kind of recalls back to the moments where she was like, I just want to save people. And he's like, yeah, you've matured, definitely. You're willing to jump in there and help somebody without even thinking. So, really cool stuff. The rest of them didn't really get any notes. Acid Girl, Great Boy, none of them get any kind of acknowledge it. Just Deku, what in the world is going on with you? I like that. It had this moment where they, of course, had Shinso tell Eraser, I knew that this was going to be a test for my transfer, and he's like, that'll wait. We gotta go, do the critiquing. And he goes over there, and the first thing he says is, Midori, what the heck's going on with you? It's like, I don't know. But yeah. Looking forward to, I think all this is just really making me look forward to episode 100. I think episode 100 is going to be really cool. Nothing battle related, I don't think, unless they open up the next real threat, because obviously this tournament thing's over, and we're gonna have to move into the next arc. And so I'm assuming we're gonna have a brief view into maybe what Dobby's doing, or possibly what Hawks is doing, involving with them. But I know the next episode is probably going to be a lot of Midori, Deku talking to All Might, and them kind of trying to figure out something with this new evolved power, possibly how to control it. So definitely looking forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed my impressions of episode 99 of My Hero Academia, or episode 11 of My Hero Academia Season 5. And if you did like this video, please leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you thought of the episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and I thank you all for watching, and y'all take care.